Welcome to Gaia's Love, a podcast of brief messages to help humanity bridge the gap to the new earth. My name is Vivienne Gerard. It is my delight to be a scribe for consciousness today, sharing the wisdom that flows through from Source. Here we go. Episode 220. It is Monday here in Cincinnati, a little cloudy. It was beautiful this morning, blue skies, sunshine. I went for my run and then a few hours later the clouds started rolling in. So we are, I believe, headed towards an afternoon of rain here again. Everything is green and lush and beautiful and really wet. So it will be good to have a little more sunshine to dry some of this out. It's Monday. I had this awareness or thought this morning. Actually, a better word is to say I had this smile. I was smiling this morning, thinking about a couple interactions from last week that just delighted me. And so I'm going to do something I don't usually do, but it feels perfect. I'm sending a big shout out, a big hug to little 1-year-old Ruby, who listens to me in the morning on the way to work with her mom. So big hugs to Ruby today. And then also my hairdresser and I were talking last week, and his name is Jonathan. He is absolutely incredible, one of my favorite people. And his son, his son Guy, was listening with him last week, and we were just giggling about how beautiful life is. So I'm sending a shout out to Jonathan and Guy this morning. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. The word for today that has really been coming forward for me is the word transparency. And I'll share a few reflections about why, and we'll see where it goes. So the word transparent, I believe that's the original word, is transparent, and then transparency comes from that. It's from the Latin word that means shining through. And I remember in school, way back, we had projectors that would shine the light up on the wall, and then you would have transparencies. You would have these plastic sheets that the teachers would write on, and the words they would write backwards or upside down or something, and it would somehow twist the image around, and so you would see it projected on the screen or the wall with right side up, and you could see it. And so there were always all these sheets of transparencies that they would keep based on the lesson plans. I mean, we're talking a long time ago, back in the dark ages when I went to school and we used transparencies. What I want to focus on, though, is the way that I see that word playing out now in human lives and experiences and politics and finances and health and government. There's just all these places where I believe transparency is becoming more important or more of a focus. So to me, the definition of transparency that I am exploring is allowing yourself to be fully seen the same wherever you are, to be transparent no matter what situation or experience you're in, or what relationship or what location, if you're at home or at work or at the grocery store or at the gym, that we are transparent. We are able to be seen. Our light shines through as we are, no matter where we are. And that is a journey I believe many of us are taking. It's a journey I've experienced my whole life, feeling the need or the social pressure to be one way in one place and another way in another place. One of the things that sort of sparked this for me, my husband and I were at the grocery store this weekend, and we were just doing a quick in and out for a couple things, and as we were walking in, this man was walking out with his son, and the man was on the phone. He was just kind of talking loudly into the phone, and the son, who's probably 9 or 10, was trailing behind him. And as soon as they got in the car, the man slammed the door, and the son had dropped the bag on the way to the car and picked it back up. And the man turned and just screamed at his son, and then started the car, and the son closed his door, and then they drove off very quickly. And several of us sort of turned what just happened? What was that? And my husband and I were talking about it as we were going through the grocery store. He's a teacher, and he sees lots of exchanges between students and parents. And there are guidelines and rules that we are supposed to follow in society. Look the other way, or don't get involved, or that's their family, don't step in, don't intrude. And yet, and in that situation, there wasn't much that could be done because they were already gone. But I believe that it brought forward for me the ways that we play a role or pretend when we are with some people, and then at home with our children or our pets. I think of poor Star. Star is just seeing some of the really exhausted, frustrated, irritated sides of who I am. And I'm sure he's yeah, if you guys could see her when she's tired and cranky, you would not want to hang around her at all. I have no doubt he would tell you that. And yet I'm aware of it, and I'm working on that, and I am trying over and over every day to be consistent, maybe it should be transparency and consistency, both words together. It's funny. If Star had a podcast, I'd be in big trouble. Oh, that's so funny. He did have a piece of bacon this morning, so it wasn't all bad. Oh, sorry. I did a little sidebar there. That is funny to think about Star having a podcast, though. Okay. Back to the program. So transparency. The message is to be consistent and to allow your light to shine through wherever we are. So I know I'm not excellent at that. I know there are times where I pretend, or I cover up, if there are feelings that I have inside that feel vulnerable or scary, or I don't want to get hurt again, or I don't want to have someone project or be angry with me. There are times where I might pull the veil a little tighter around me and not be transparent, not allow my light to shine, not allow myself to be fully the same as I would if I was hanging out, with my best friend, or playing in the pool and, enjoying the sunshine with my kids. There are places where we feel safer to be transparent, and there are times and moments where we put on a cover or an act, or we play the role perhaps that is expected of us. What I believe is happening, definitely in society as a general thing, is those roles and those walls are coming down. The protection people have had to keep everything in isolated buckets and separate from each other, those things are being revealed. And that public displays of where people are getting caught, or people are getting it's like the illusion, that's a better word, the illusion that we have of the perfection of how people live, that illusion is starting to dissolve. And we are seeing more of the reality. Not the reality like the Kardashians, I don't mean it that way. The reality of individuals are doing work as humans, as souls in human bodies. We are trying to figure things out. We are expanding consciousness. We are playing with truth and untruth, and with integrity and lack of integrity, with authenticity and not being authentic, with community and isolation or abandonment. We are working through a lot of really big concepts, and we're playing them out in our actual real lives. And so the places where perhaps we had tried to cover up or hide or pretend that this is okay or this is going well, or this is like the separate lives that some people lead, those are starting to be illuminated or dissolved. The illusion is starting to fall away. And we are being called to transparency, to being the same and allowing our light to shine through wherever we are. And it's an evolution or a journey that's done in stages. I believe if everyone became transparent all at once, we would probably have massive psychosis, and there would be all kinds of mental breakdowns, because our minds hold these structures in place. Our minds have us think that it's better to have separation and buckets and containers in which we play our roles. The soul inside knows that transparency is actually more powerful, more connected, more connecting. That transparency allows us to love more deeply. An example perhaps might be helpful. So, this beautiful friend of mine invited me and another friend to see her garden this weekend, and this is like one of her favorite places. And it's vulnerable to have a place where you are in your genius and know you're in your genius, and allowing others to see that genius. Are you going to be understood for the genius that you are? And oh my God, it was the highlight of my weekend. It was the highlight of my weekend to spend a little time in her garden. It was so awesome. It was so awesome. Pure joy. And absolute gratitude that there is this incredible woman who is in her genius, creating amazing things in her garden. Transparency is allowing that door to open and letting someone see you, letting someone walk through and be in that space with you, and then receiving the love and the gratitude when we, let me back up for a second. It's scary to open the door to allow people to see us when we think they see us one way in one role, and then we consider opening the door and letting them see us in another way in another role. It's really scary, because in our journeys, often when we have tried that before, we've been rejected or judged, or if someone sees us as amazing, well, that's not true. We see ourselves as amazing, and then we allow someone to see that part of ourselves and they don't think we're amazing. That really sucks, and it hurts. And then we want to shut the door. We want to lock everybody out. This has happened to me so many times in my life. I'll share something with someone and then they'll project and tell me they don't get it, or I'm a little crazy, or what? And so I shut the door. I pull back in, and in the past I've done this over and over, kind of like a little turtle or a snail. I've just sort of pulled myself back in and gotten really tight and tiny so that I won't be hurt again. And it doesn't work, because that natural light within us wants to illuminate. It wants to be seen for the light that we are, not for the light that others think we should be, or the light that other people are, for the light that we are. And so that light is just naturally going to keep pressing out and wanting to have the illusion drop and wanting to be seen. And so, resisting that natural movement, expansion, momentum outward of our own light, resisting that creates a whole bunch of mess and havoc in our lives, because that light just naturally wants to be transparently visible. So what I have found is, I just keep shining my light. I keep doing what I am here to do. And sometimes there are people who will still say, "You're a little nuts, man. Like, I don't get it. You're a little crazy. I don't understand." But what I've found is there are more and more who are saying, "I love your light. Oh my gosh, and your light reminds me of my light, and it gives me the courage to shine my light more brightly. So if you shine your light and I shine my light, let's just have like a big light up party." I mean, I'm kind of paraphrasing, but that's the energy of it. When I just keep expanding my light and I just keep being more and more of who I am, and I am more transparent. The way you see and feel me right here in this podcast is the way you're going to experience me if you see me at the grocery store. I might be a little irritated that I have to like walk through the aisles again, but it's my choice. I could use Click It and I haven't yet, so it's okay. I'm going to be just like this at the grocery store. And when you come to my house, and when you I don't even know what other examples there are. I don't go to the gym. When you see me running down the street, I'll be the one that's waving at the cars while I'm running to say hi. My light naturally is transparent now, and I am very consistent wherever I am. Yes, I get tired and I get cranky like last night, and I don't want to walk Star down to the bathroom again. And yet I do all those things and I'm still going to be the same person through all of the experiences that I create in my life. When my festivals are traveling around the world, the person you're going to see in Japan and in Switzerland and in Peru and in Denmark is going to be the same person I am right here in this moment. Just more light. So transparency is what we are being called towards. Shining through. Letting your light shine through wherever you are, in whatever you're doing, in whatever quirky, weird, awesome way you do it. Because that's why we're here. To be light, to shine light. To help illuminate. The message when I was in my meditation, I sit with my guides before I start this recording, and I always just ask, like, what is there for me to know today? What is the energy for today? What is happening here on planet Earth? And it was so amazing this morning. What I kept hearing was love. Just love. Be love. Express love. Talk about love. Shine love. Be love. Love. That's it. So if what we're here to do is be our own light and shine it and be transparent, and if that light is just love, of course we can change the world and create something completely different than what we see in front of us right now. So that is my Monday reflections. Yeah, perhaps play with how transparent you are and see if there are ways you can become more transparent, shining through. Thank you for tuning into this vibration of pure love. I invite you to join me in aligning with the optimal health of your mind, body, spirit in the virtual community of Viv's Energy Gym. You can learn more at mysouljourney.com. Let's take this message of Gaia's love out into all of our relationships and communities today. So much love from my heart to yours.